Gives You podcast, and I'm your host, Deja Nicole, and this is season 2, and season 2 is all about healing girl era. So, season 2, episode 4 is going to be about how to heal on your own. So, yeah, when you're in your healing girl era, you're technically are healing on your own by doing a lot of things like cutting people out your life or changing up a routine, because you changing up a routine is you healing, because you can be in a position that your previous routine was stopping you from healing. So I'm going to share some tips on how you can heal on your own. Now let's just get on to each key point. I have like 5 different key points that I'm going to talk about in this episode, so let's just get on to this episode. And before I start, go follow us on Instagram, which is You Against You pod.by Deja. So if you're watching this on YouTube, it will be here on the screen, but if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, it will be in the show notes. Also, go subscribe to the You Against You podcast channel, which will be in the show notes. And also go rate this podcast and follow this podcast on Apple Podcasts, and also follow this podcast on Spotify. So, and also rate it, because you can also give like stars on Spotify for podcasters. But yeah, just want to put that there. And also I'm going to try to promote this more, because I actually want to start putting like things in this group chat. Go add yourself to the group chat, which would be in the show notes down below. So yeah, that would be probably more active once I get at least 10 members, and I have 1. So if I get at least 10 members, then I will start being active in that group chat and just continue it to grow. But let's just get on to today's episode. So how can you heal on your own? That's a good question. I feel like there's a lot of things that you can do to heal on your own, like focus on yourself, focus on bettering yourself, drop those bad habits and create new habits. That right there can make you heal on your own, because if you think about it, if you're not healing, if you're not wanting to heal, you're not wanting to do new habits, you're not wanting to actually change who you are, because you should only want to change for yourself. So if you create new habits, you are healing into a whole nother person from your past self. And yes, there's a lot of people who let their past self come back, like myself. Sometimes I hate that, but it's just a whole process. And some people, when they are in their healing girl era, so women, when they're in their healing girl era, they can be completely fine, and then something can trigger something to the point that they can get back to this whole nother person that they was before they enter their healing girl era. So I'm going to give y'all some key points on how you can heal on your own, because sometimes you just have to heal on your own. And I feel like a lot of people feel like they need someone else in their life to heal. But when you heal, that's actually starting within you, not within someone else, because they're not going to always be there for you in your healing process. So you have to learn how to heal on your own. So let's just get on to today's episode. So the first key point I want to talk about is you have to decide if you're ready to heal. Now, this is a question that you have to ask yourself. Are you ready to heal? If your answer is no, then keep doing those habits that are preventing you from healing. But if your answer is yes, create new habits for yourself to enter your healing girl era, your healing girl journey, your healing journey. So, in order to heal on your own, you have to decide if you're ready to heal. Write down all the things that are preventing you to heal if you are ready to heal, but you know you are ready to heal. So just write down all your traumas that you want to heal from, that you want to forget, and tear it up. After you like in your mid healing journey, tear it up. And the reason why I say tear it up is because you're looking at the list and you'd be like, wow, from when I started my healing journey to now, from just reading this list, I'm so happy where I have come from. So make a list of things that you're healing from. And after you make this list, you can read it over and over again on why you want to heal. And that will make sure if you're 100% ready to heal. And the reason why I said when you're like midway into your healing journey and you actually feel so much better or just a different person than when you were in your healing era, then you know that you're ready to heal. And when you read that list multiple times, you'd be like, okay, wow, I'm changed to a whole nother person. I don't think I should keep reading this list to keep me from not healing. I'm healing from each and everything on this list, so I'm gonna tear it up. Or I'm completely healed from each and everything on this list, so I'm gonna tear it up. And tearing up things like paper, then crumbling paper, can actually help you feel relief, and actually is so soothing, especially if you're stressed out. So yeah. The second thing that you want to do when you want to heal on your own, so this is the second key point, is change everything. Remember in the beginning of this episode I said you want to change your habits, you want to change your routines, or something similar to that. You do. You want to change everything that you're doing, because when you're in your healing girl era, when you're entering your healing girl era, you are becoming a whole nother person that you never thought you could be, but you are becoming. And you have to change everything about yourself. You have to change your morning routine, your night routine. You have to change how you treat yourself. You have to change on things that you thought were good for you, but it wasn't. You have to start doing more good habits than bad habits. You got to be more productive than lazy. You have to literally change your whole mindset. If I had to put it in one word, it's change your mindset. Not one word, but one sentence. When you change everything, because there's a lot that you're going to realize when you're in your healing girl era, that you was a mess, you was a wreck, and you was not okay. And because sometimes, even though you can have trauma that is preventing you to enter your healing girl era, or is the reason why you're entering your healing girl era, the habits that you're doing on a daily basis can also be the reason why you're entering your healing girl era, because of the things that you're doing to yourself, that you're not loving yourself than you want to, and how you're letting people walk over you and let people control you and let people manipulate you. There's so much things that is happening before you enter your healing girl era, but when you enter it, when that door opens and you're on this journey of your healing girl era, you'd be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I was this person and I let people walk over me, let people use me, and now my whole mindset shifts from negative to positive, or I'm talking more highly about myself and to myself than I was before. And you will notice those different changes when you are in this journey. So I did talk about changing the old habits to new habits, changing how you talk to yourself, and also asking yourself, what you should be doing differently. So this goes back to changing your old habits to your new habits. So you want to ask yourself, when you enter your healing girl era, who is this person doing, and what is this person doing? Who is this person? What are they doing as a career, as a hobby? Are they mostly happy? Who are they friends with? Those type of questions you want to ask yourself when you're in your healing girl era. Are they in a relationship? Are they still single? Are they just dating, just out there just to see what's out there? I feel like that is healthy in a way. And I'm actually going to be talk more about that in a future episode on dating in your healing girl era. But you want to ask yourself, what is this person doing? Who is she? Who is she? Is she a boss? Is she someone who works for herself or works for someone else? Does she travel the world? So those questions you should ask yourself when you're into your healing girl era. And you should just imagine it. And if you want to make what did I just say? Oh my gosh. A Pinterest inspiration board and Pinterest board. Find pictures that represent you as a woman and what you want to be in the future, and just title it Healing Girl Era Me. And I think I'm gonna start doing that because there's a lot of things that I want to do and that I'm planning to do this year, and I'm so happy that I'm doing it. And so it's just me changing on who I am as a person while I'm in my healing girl era. But you just want to visualize that person that you want to be when you are still in your healing girl era. I don't think it would never end, but when you start seeing the changes within yourself, within your mood, or how you talk to yourself, how you talk to people, the things that you're doing, if you are actually more productive than before, you will know that you entering this healing girl era is good for you. And sometimes you're going to feel lonely. Before I get into the next key point, when you're healing on your own, you're going to feel lonely sometimes, and that is okay. Sometimes you can just write out your feelings and just tear it up, or if you like keeping that stuff, you just keep it in a notebook and put the notebook somewhere that you know you will be the only person to find it. But it's going to be lonely. You might have friends, but those friends will not be there always for you in your journey of healing. And I realize that with a friend, I can talk about an issue, but then it goes back to them. So it's like my issue didn't really matter to them. So it's going to be lonely at first, and you're going to cut people off. We're going back to episode 1, and you're going to cut people off, but you're also going to have more people come your life when you are in this healing girl era, and when you're healing on your own, because there's a lot of thinking process, there's a lot of overthinking, I feel like, when you're in your healing girl era. So yeah, that is something I want to add. It's going to be lonely. But the third key point that I'm going to talk about is admitting to yourself on how much you hurt yourself now. And this is in a mental and emotional aspect on hurting yourself and how much it does hurt. So you could like ask me, like, what do you mean by that, Deja Nicole? Well, there's a lot of people who need closure on some things, like myself, and you can get closure, but you have to remember, a lot of people don't want to give you closure, so just give the other person closure and just be done with it. But getting closure on why someone left your life, or you cut off this person, or why you acting different, or why you felt a certain way before. If you don't get closure, I feel like you won't heal, and you're going to have that feeling deep inside you that is going to keep you from actually doing anything in your life, from traveling, from starting something that you always wanted to start. So that can be a podcast, that can be a business, that can be a YouTube channel, that can be just anything. That can also prevent you from meeting new people in your life, that can actually also prevent you from having big things come in your life, because you are blocking that from you. So if you want closure, get that closure, and that is actually a way of you healing on your own. Another way of admitting to yourself that it hurts, because a lot of people don't like admitting things in general, but admitting things to themselves is hard to realize, but like, oh my gosh. So is you will start feeling better once you start admitting things to yourself. And the reason why I say you will start feeling better is because the things that you're saying to yourself, and you're apologizing, and you're saying, I'm sorry, Deja. So I can say like, I'm sorry, Deja, that I made you feel like you've been used and you saw all the signs. I'm sorry, Deja, that I have not fed into yourself or into you for a better way of thinking, or for more knowledge, or to have fun. I'm sorry that I kept you more isolated than you should have been isolated. So you're just apologizing to yourself. You are going to talk to yourself like it's a third person point of view. So it's you talking to you, and if you think it would be so much better to do this, talk to yourself in the mirror, and it's actually you directly talking to your reflection, then you just sitting on the floor or on your bed and just saying, like, apologizing to yourself. So like, if you want to talk to yourself in the mirror, because it does seem like you're talking to yourself, your reflection. Or what you can do, what I might do, I don't know yet. I don't know if I should. I do talk to myself in my mirror. But what you can also start doing is record yourself. So if you have a camera, like I do, because I'm a YouTuber, you can record yourself and just make it raw as ever, and record yourself saying sorry for the things that you have done to yourself, or just record yourself on your phone. We have a camera, you can set it up and apologize to yourself, especially when you think you are not okay. Rewatch the videos that you recorded of yourself that you are apologizing to yourself, and rewatch it, and that can actually make you feel better. So just talking to yourself in the mirror and apologizing, or just recording to yourself a little message that you can hear on a daily basis and that you have, it is better to do that, and it will make you feel better. Another thing is that when you are healing on your own and you're admitting to yourself that how much it really hurts, you are lifting a burden off your shoulder. You are just lifting that off. And I feel like sometimes when you're lifting a burden off your shoulder, it does actually feel so much better, because you can finally take that big deep breath and be like, oh my gosh, and just start crying, because I feel like that's what a lot of people do after they lift a burden off their shoulder, and just admitting to the stuff that you have done for yourself in a negative way will help you heal on your own, and you have lifted that burden off your shoulder. So yeah, so we're almost done. We got 2 more key points to talk about, actually 1 more key point to talk about after this next one. So the next key point is enjoying the process. Now, when you're healing on your own, it's just basically me time, right? But you're going to enjoy the process. And when I say you're going to enjoy the process, you're going to enjoy the process. You're going to, like I said before, you're going to start notice that you have changed into someone else. You are evolving into someone else that you never thought you could be. Another thing that you have to know when you're enjoying this process is that it's a slow process, and it's a good thing it is a slow process, because it's not going by as fast. It's going to take different steps for you to get better and to heal on your own. So it's a slow process, and you will enjoy that, and you will feel so many emotions within this process of healing. And you, like I said, you will notice a change. You will feel so many emotions, and you will just feel relief in a way in each different stages of it. And the last thing about why you should enjoy the process, not because it's a slow process and not because it will make you notice how much you change, it's because you will reflect. A lot of reflections will happen. You will reflect on a lot, and you can be like, wow, I love that I'm changing into this person, and that I'm healing from A, B, and C. So you will do a lot of reflections. And sometimes if you want to journal each day while you in your healing girl era, do that, because that's part of reflection. And like I said, it's a slow process. So if you are the type of person who likes to document things, do that, and you can always read back in those journals when you feel so much better. It's like a diary. So if you just want to get a diary and date it and be like, dear diary, this is how my healing journey is going so far. I did A, B, and C. I felt that A, B, and C words, and I forgot all these negative things and all of that. So like you can like have a diary and date it, and it can be your own little like diary that you can read when you know you feel so much better than before. Now, the last key point, and we're almost done with this episode, but the last key point is disconnect with your thoughts. Now, this is a process of healing on your own. Okay, I had to do like a pause in between, but no, this is a process of you healing on your own. So let's talk about it. So when you're disconnecting from your thoughts, what do you think by that? Do you think, oh, I can just go in my brain and disconnect a plug? No, there's a lot of things that you can disconnect from your thoughts. So the first thing is meditation. So there is a lot of ways that you can meditate. You can do guided meditation, or you can do unguided meditation. If you're someone who is new to meditation, try guided meditations. There's apps like Headspace that has 5, 10, 30 minutes or even an hour guided meditations that you can do. You can schedule it. They can send you a reminder that it's almost time for you to meditate. You log into the app and all of that. That's actually how I started meditating at first, because I was new. And then there's other ways that you can meditate. You can find meditation music on YouTube, let it play, set a timer for like 10, 20, 25, 30 minutes or an hour, no matter how long you want to sit with your eyes closed and just focus on your breathing and just meditate. And you disconnecting from your mind is just you focusing on your breathing, and that's what meditation is. Disconnecting from your mind and focus on your breathing. So meditate can help you disconnect from your thoughts, because you're going to forget why you was feeling how you was feeling before you meditate. And meditation can actually help you most likely have a better day throughout the day. So keep that in mind. Another way on how you can disconnect with your thoughts is focus on small tasks and don't multitask. I am someone who multitasks still, but not a lot than before. But you shouldn't want to multitask. You want to focus on a small task. And the reason why I say that is because those small tasks won't stress you out, right? So you can do them first, and after you finish all the small tasks, you can do your big task after. And yes, it's going to stress you out a little, but if you're doing those last, it's better to do those last than first, because you don't have to stress about something and you don't have to start feeling anxious or some other way when you are disconnecting from your thoughts. No, when you are disconnecting from your thoughts and when you are focusing on the small task. I already talked about multitasking. It's not good because you are focusing on so many things. Yes, we are one human. We got 2 arms and 2 legs. We only can be in one place at a time. So just focus on that one task. Don't multitask because it can be very stressful, especially as a content creator. Sometimes I do multitask. I can like edit a video and do something else. Or someone who was in college. I'm still in college, but I'm done with summer classes at the moment. I would do like make sure something is uploading and doing homework, or editing and doing homework, and it's just very stressful. So focus on one thing, don't focus on 2. Multitasking is bad and you're going to get stressed, and you soon probably start thinking negative thoughts. The next thing that you can do to disconnect from your thoughts is remember that negative thoughts will pass by. So yes, I did talk about negative thoughts a few minutes ago, but negative thoughts will pass by, and that is normal for us humans. We will think negative thoughts always. That's something that we can't stop. But if you're going to let those negative thoughts control you, that is on you. So you're going to have a negative thought, but don't let it ruin your day, because we're not perfect. Oh snap, my brain was poking out. I was like, what the heck? But yeah. So another way to disconnect with your mind, like it was like sticking up like that, so like if you're seeing this, yeah, my hair is not wanting to cooperate with me, but another way to disconnect with your thoughts is to improve your state of mind. Because when you disconnect from your thoughts, you're disconnecting from everything, especially those negative thoughts. Even though I just said, yes, negative thoughts will pass by and let them pass by. But if you're going to let those control you, then that's bad. And when you disconnect from your thoughts, it's going to improve your state of mind. And it's going to improve your mental health in a way. So, yeah. And then the last thing is when you disconnect from your thoughts, you will have a better understanding for yourself. And the reason why I say that is because you will start noticing, like I said, you will start noticing yourself changing when you're learning to heal on your own. So when you have a better understanding with yourself, you know what things can make you happy and what things cannot make you happy. So yeah. So, and that is it for today's episode, season 2, episode 4, which is how to heal on your own. If you like this episode, share it on your story and tag my podcast Instagram, You Against You Pod.byDeja, and Also, I'm kind of tired. I've been up like very early, and I'm like I'm pre-recording this episode because I'll be out of town. But also you can tag my personal Instagram, which is Dajah, DAJAH _ Nicole, NICOLE _ I love to see support. So yeah, and if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe and leave a comment, and also like this video. And if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, leave us a rating and review. And if you're listening to this on Spotify, leave a rating, so that will actually push my podcast out to more listeners. But I love you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. I got a lot of things to do. I have to clean laundry, I have to clean, I gotta take my dog out. It's 10:04 a.m. on the Saturday morning. So I had to get this out of the way because I know I won't be here to record this, even though I'm taking my camera, but I'm not taking my podcast equipment. So I really do hope that you're having a nice and lovely day, guys. Losing all your besties, it's like, you know, a whole nother me, not a whole nother, it's me. But for my podcast, I just call you guys. I just call y'all, you know, I do call your besties here and there, but that's more like for my main YouTube channel. But I've been having a nice and lovely day today. Remember to always go towards your goals, and remember, it will always be you against you, not you against someone else, or you against the earth, because you're the only one who want to either fail or succeed. So remember that, and I love you guys, and I'll see y'all in episode 5. Bye. And also, before I close down, follow us on TikTok. We just hit 660 followers, so go follow us on TikTok. It will be here on the screen and in the description box down below if you're watching this on YouTube, or in the show notes as well. So I love you guys, and I see y'all in episode 5. And remember, it's you against you.